Tonight's episode is brought to you by Air Japan. When you're flying to convince some of your favorite wrestlers to not leave, choose Air Japan. Tonight on Ramblers Unleashed, is Baron planning to challenge Val Venus to a smoke-off? Who is that old man up way past his bedtime sitting in the third chair? Why does Max have the sads? If you don't see the graphic, stay tuned. Find out next on Ramblers Unleashed.
Turn it up. Ramblers Unleashed. You know what it is. Dizzy on the mic, yeah, breaking all the news. Dropping bombs weekly, got nothing left to lose. Headlines hitting hard like a chair to the face. If it's happening in the ring, he already on the case. Baron in the corner, yeah, he floating in a haze. Buzz kill coming quick, man, he lighting up the blaze. Laugh now, crash later, got that wild-eyed grin. Saying this Max trash while he roll another spin. Turn it up loud, let the chaos begin. Three voices clashing, let the madness kick in. Revolution!
We got to add that to everybody's Spotify. I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 3 days removed from Backlash Tampa, where we might have seen the end of an era and a unique tournament was announced. But first, let me introduce the Ramblers. A man who tries to give RVD a run for his money. Give this man a huge round of applause. It's the Baron.
I think I do a pretty good job at it. I don't know if anybody knows off the rip. We normally have the cover of the show covering our face. And, shit happens sometimes. Glad to be here, though, man.
This is what happens when you leave the lazy asshole and the stoner running the show. I will say this every time I gotta, all right? I want you guys to know that's what this is.
I don't know what the fuck these people were thinking when they did whatever the hell happened. But here we are. We're winging it every week, and I think it's great, man. I think it's great. Glad to be here. A lot to talk about, too.
Well, we have several things to talk about, but before we get to that, I've got to make an introduction. Up
People
next,
like that?
No, not yet. They'll get their moment though. Don't you worry.
Okay.
Up next, we have to introduce a guy who is making his triumphant return to the Ramblers in his Depends underwear. Give it up for Grandpa. I mean, JAYBONE.
Not in Depends underwear, but thank you.
Oh, they have other brands now? That's so cool.
Yeah, well, I'm trying something new tonight. I wear them on the outside of my sweatpants, and I'm going to see what happens. For shits and giggles, literally.
For shits, for sure. I don't know if there's going to be giggles involved with that. Well, there might be some giggles that happen to be a shit that comes.
If you hear me like giggle and then start to cry right afterwards, you'll know it all went to hell. No, I'm kidding.
Anybody not in the house with him where they can smell it will probably giggle when it happens.
I think one of my cats just farted though.
Oh no!
Oh, sure,
that might be worse than the shit and gigs.
Listen, before we get any further into this, JAYBONE, it's good to have you back. Now I have someone to pick on with the age jokes again. Baron has somebody to have Culvers with again.
I still don't do Culvers.
Don't worry, I haven't been to Culver's since you left. I don't think Yeah, I haven't.
Nice,
dude. No, I have to say it's fucking fantastic to see you back on our screens where you belong. Me and Max have been duoing this for a while now. So you know what I love the most, other than you being back, is when you two are rambling, and there's the third, the fourth one going down. It's a fast exit into the restroom.
Well,
I couldn't do it that often with Max, but occasionally I'd slip away, and he's like,
yeah, there were times when I was on the verge of tossing it over to him for his opinion, and all of a sudden I'm like, well, I guess I'll keep talking for a minute.
Hey, I make it fast.
He just puts the beer, sets it in front of the camera.
Put it right into my seat right here as I go to the bathroom. No, man, it's great. It's been a while. I think the chat is happy to see you back as well.
I put it in the kitchen.
And I know me and Max are ecstatic to have you back.
I'm sorry. I cannot let that statement slide. I put it in your kitchen.
Oh, no, it's our kitchen.
No. Yeah, and I can tell you by the reaction I'm seeing over there.
Okay, it's our kitchen.
All right.
Of course I don't do crap in there. If I did crap in there, you'd really kick my ass.
That's why he's wearing Depends. So
that's why I'm wearing right. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. It's good to be back.
Hey, have you know, Mir, our videos have stayed consistent since the day he left. With or without you, my man. With or without you, sir.
Sean has been here almost every episode. We love that.
I told the guys last night, because we were on just an audio chat on Facebook, just getting reacquainted and catching up. And I told these guys, I said, look, I don't know what you've all done since I've been gone, but I have caught some episodes and I see the covers and I see little updates here and there. And I told these guys, I said, look, it's not easy doing what I do just on a whim. It's you got to like mess with stuff. You got to like experiment. You got to trial and error. So I said, the show looks good. I'm glad you guys are figuring this out. I said, I'm proud of you. Seriously. It's, it's cool. Aaron let me in on how they do. I won't say it, but he told me how they do it. And I was like, well, I was proud for about 2 seconds. So. I'm kidding.
Well, you see, Sean, there was this wrestling show way back in the day. And we each got kicked out of it for different reasons, all about the same time. And as we were sitting on the curb, that's how we met.
What did we get kicked out of?
A wrestling show. I said there was this wrestling show back in the day.
What did we get kicked out of? What wrestling show was it?
Sean said he was curious how we all met. I made up a story for the show.
But I feel like we got kicked out of a show for real. That's why how we did meet.
Oh, hold on.
Podcast show. I think that's legitimate.
Baron, you were high. You don't remember.
I mean, I was stoned to the bones, but we did get kicked off a fucking show, and that's why I need Max to clarify that.
Well, hold on.
Or did we kick somebody?
We didn't get kicked off a show. There were a couple of us that were asked not to appear on a show because a couple of us have a problem watching our language, and there was going to be a guest on that particular show who does not like foul language. And if we use it while we're on a show with him, he will just leave. He won't even say bye. He'll just go. That was when we were doing it was a 24-hour, it was a marathon of a whole bunch of different podcasts. And we were all kind of rotating in and out, and they were going to be interviewing Gentleman Jervis. Well, I'm not very well known for controlling my language. Try, but I'm not very well known for it. And so I was not welcome on the Gentleman Jervis interview, and I wasn't mad about it because, hey, I fucking get it, all right? I can't watch my mouth. I can't be on the show with the guy that prefers we watch our mouth. So we weren't technically kicked out. We did have a little rough patch with another podcast, but that was mostly Dizzy and that podcast. The rest of us kind of caught some strays from that, but it was really Dizzy they were mad at, and Dizzy was mad at them, and it was a whole big thing.
Are you talking about that women podcast?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't even remember what it was called, but I was guessing that's what it was.
I don't remember what it was called either.
Yes.
It was called Two Bitches.
Yeah. So, but to answer Sean's question. So back in the day, Dizzy, Bubba, and Baron have known each other for years. They knew each other before doing the podcast. One day I was on a website. It's called foobar.com, and there is a programming thing on there where you can put a server into what they call a lounge. It's basically a glorified chat room, if you remember MSN chat days, or like our chat over here, similar. And you could DJ, basically. You could play music on Foobar. And goddamn right. But I didn't want to run off Gentleman Jervis, so I wasn't upset. But so Dizzy and I met through a lounge on there where we both DJ'd. And one night he was like, hey, my buddy and I are starting this wrestling podcast. You've been a pro wrestler. You want to come talk to us and, maybe give your opinion? And apparently the plan was for me to do basically the one show, and then they were just going to keep going by themselves. And Baron was going to do a show, apparently. And then they were like, you know what? We really enjoyed having you guys on the show so much. Let's make it a regular thing. So it started being the four of us for a little while. Bubba actually pissed on a live mic one night. That audio still exists. Okay, he got up to use the bathroom, but didn't really take into consideration that the bathroom was so close to the microphone. And so...
It happened.
Yeah, it happens. People do it all the time. And then along the way, Bubba decided he didn't really feel it anymore, just didn't want to do this. And then we found JAYBONE. We brought him in, and that's and some people have actually met in real life. Not me, because I live in Colorado and these guys won't come out here for some reason. But some of these guys have actually met in real life.
I met Dizzy a few times. We hung out. We did a podcast down in southern Wisconsin, and I went to his. Oh, it was his wedding. Yeah. So I'm, and I don't want to upset him. So I'm just for the simple reason of that. I'm glad he's not here for this, but I wish he was here. Period. So. I just want to bring up bad memories. That's all. So.
Bubba, Styles was there too, right?
Yes, Styles was there. Yeah, because actually Styles was hanging out with me for I want to say a week or something. And it was at my old house, and we were hanging out. Yeah, we were hanging out, and then we both went down to, Tracy, Styles, and I, the three of us, went down to his wedding. Yeah.
Oh, I am.
No, not new. Look at him. He's old. Look at how old he is.
Yes, Vince Russo, new podcaster on the show. His name is Bone. JAYBONE.
Bone. J to the A to the Y to the bone.
Yeah, no, it's been a very long ride. A lot of people don't realize Ramblers have been around for almost 12 years or 10 years. 10 years plus, right? At this
10
point?
years plus. Yeah, you guys took we've taken several breaks
over the
years.
Yeah.
And then we came back during the pandemic, and then we went away, and then we came back, and then
this might be the longest run we've had since doing the podcast.
Yeah,
we lost one of the channels. I do remember that. And then we did the ECW show, and now we're here. Yeah, this might be the longest time we've actually consistently streamed.
Yeah.
This is episode number 113. So that means
this piece of shit, Sean. You're lucky we love you, Sean.
We're over 2 years on this run, with only a week or two off here and there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been great, man. Gotten some good shows in. Seen people come back. And we got the bone back. And our hearts are happy. And this is what we do. We like to ramble.
Usually, not always.
Usually.
I sometimes we just want to shoot things and blow things up. On Star Wars Outlaws, not for real. Don't be going out there reporting me for saying something I didn't. All right. But yeah, 2 years on this run. It wasn't like our last run was that short either. I mean, and the ECW review show. I remember those days. That was fun.
So I came in like right after that. That was one thing I didn't have the pleasure of doing with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, that was early on in our shows, was the ECW podcast or review shows. And you came around not too much longer, right? Yeah, I really don't remember, man. It's been so fucking long since we did that's literally been like, has to be 14 years at this point since the ECW shows.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was probably like 15 plus years since we started this originally.
Mm-hmm.
So
Disney's probably got it right off the top of his head how long it's been since we started. I physically don't remember, but I mean, dude, we came across some cool fucking people throughout the years. G-Rod, I mean, the list is
hell yeah,
ever ending. You know,
Pudding Brain,
JAYBONE. JAYBONE has got the branch tree to the TNA world. Like, it's pretty sweet to see, man. Like, it's who else am I forgetting? Holy fuck, who? Oh my god,
Styles.
No, not Styles. We already talked about Styles, but
oh no, I'm bringing Styles up for a reason. Listen, Styles.
Everybody connected with the Wrestling Addict.
Addict. Yes, yeah. That's what I was trying to remember. I'm like, fuck,
right.
What is the name of it?
Which is G-Rod and
Rant with Ant. Yeah.
Listen, Styles, if you want to try and pick a war with me, don't send me the censored picture. All right.
And then we met Sean, Mir, Courtney. We miss Courtney wherever Courtney's at right now.
Yeah, I haven't seen Courtney in a
I think
while.
She came in and said she was taking a break from social media and possibly wrestling. This would be a time that a lot of people are taking time away from wrestling. It's a lull period in wrestling, if you ask me.
or social media in general.
Or social media in general. I totally understand, but much more about the Courtney.
I promote TNI, and like that's it. That's it. You don't hear a sneeze, fart, nothing from me.
No fart? You don't fart on social media?
Nope.
That's a cool thing to do. A little toot.
When they create smell-o-vision, I'll be the king of it. I'm just saying. I'll be knocking out people left and right and be like, "Oh, JAYBONE just logged on somewhere."
Fart fucking trail. Well, start us off, Max. What's our stories, bud?
What are we talking
This is
about?
part of our stories. Remember, we talked last night. We said we were going to sit here and talk about JAYBONE being back in. All right, fine.
You're going to make me blush.
All right, real quick, though, before we get into the stories, and I don't want to go in depth on this right now because I'm working on a little something concerning it. If you were watching Backlash over the weekend, you know that John Cena made an announcement. And that announcement is that because Saturday night's main event in December went so well, we are going to have the John Cena Classic, date and time to be determined. And it's going to be main roster stars versus NXT stars because that's what he wants to see. He wants to see the young guns versus the vets, basically. But winning your match does not necessarily equal a win in the tournament. How is that going to work? We, the WWE Universe, get to vote on who we think should win. So you can take a vote. You can take a loss in your match in the tournament and still actually win the title of the tournament. So we'll see how that's going to turn out. We're going to talk more in depth about it here really soon. But I just wanted to make sure I mentioned it tonight on the show because it's kind of big news. It is. So
it sounds to me,
whether you like it or not, it's big news.
I guess, but it seems to me like it's something they put up an hour before the show and was like, "Here, John Cena, go out and promote," because it doesn't make sense to me. I just, is it officially WWE versus NXT? Is that what they're classifying this as?
That's how he announced it. He said it was the main roster versus the NXT, the same thing they did at Saturday night's main event.
I'm for that as long as the matchups are. I don't like the voting. I think it would be cool if they took the voting to see who pairs off and faces against each other. Have the fans vote for the matches, right? Wouldn't that be cool to see instead of?
I'm sure they're going to tweak this.
Styles said.
Yeah, like
Cyber Sunday.
Cyber Sunday, right? Yeah, exactly. That's the gist. Have the fans pick who's facing who. Maybe a stipulation, but like if you're giving points to people that don't win their match, that have a possibility of winning the belt, doesn't that defeat the purpose of the tournament? I don't know.
Trivia. You got a piece of trivia for you. Styles mentioned Cyber Sunday, but before Cyber Sunday, there was
Taboo Tuesday.
Taboo Tuesday. Yeah. Where was the first one held?
Milwaukee. Where's the anytime this bastard, he's back, ladies and gentlemen. JAYBONE's back. Anytime he can get a cheap pop from fucking Milwaukee, he's taking that bitch.
That's why I didn't say Milwaukee. That's why I said his mom's basement, because I wasn't giving him the cheap pop.
Give him the cheap pop. JAYBONE's back, baby. Give him Milwaukee. Dude, what's going on up there in Wisconsin? Like, haven't they just been like hit heavy with tornadoes recently? Not to change the subject, crazy.
There was a string of storms, I want to say a month or so ago, and it was kind of scary because I was literally just sitting here at my computer like I am now, and Sean Steve, it says Milwaukee sucks.
Hey, Sean said it, and whatever Sean says is right. Yes, Sean, and we agree. No,
give that guy a 5-minute timeout. No, I'm kidding. No, there are some things about my old hometown that absolutely suck. But no, I still got a lot of love for southeastern Wisconsin. I'm still here, so. No, there was a rage of storms that went from the north of the grand old U.S. to the southern end of U.S., and it was just a hot mess across the whole damn country.
Yeah.
I was sitting here, my phone went off, and as soon as my phone went off, and like we don't get shit around here, so I was like, oh, there's a tornado warning. And I can never remember if like which is worse, the warning or the watch or whatever.
Warning.
Right. So I was like, oh, tornado warning. Well, that's interesting. Well, hopefully it doesn't develop into, and as soon as I'm like putting this thought through my head, I hear Cedarburg, which is just a town literally a minute away, a drive, because we live like right on the border of Grafton and Cedarburg. So I hear Cedarburg sirens go off, and then I hear Grafton's sirens go off, and I'm like, oh, shit, that's close.
They got me surrounded.
Isn't that out of the norm for you, though, in Milwaukee? Like
it
tornadoes?
Is.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering.
It is. I mean, a lot of times they'll go way north of us, they'll hit way west of us, or way south of us. Right around the general population of Milwaukee and suburbs, no, we don't get crap. We get really bad storms. We get flooding, but we don't. And that's one thing we did have recently is we had some flooding, but you know, all our land around us goes downhill, so we're not too worried about that. But yeah,
I just had to ask. I follow a lot of weather YouTubers, and I was like, oh fuck, Milwaukee. I think this was like 2 weeks ago. Well,
yeah
this is what I do. I get us off the rails.
Yeah, so and we live on the second floor, so I'm like, honey, wake up. Where are we going? Are we jumping in the truck and driving? What are we doing? We have nowhere to go. We don't have a basement. We're fucked.
We're going flying.
Yeah, I might as well just hang my glowing white ass out the window and say, "Take me."
Just rips your ass just right off your fucking skin.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Well, we're
All right,
glad
guys.
you're safe.
All right, guys, let's get back on track. How about that? Don't worry, there'll be time for BSing soon.
We got wrestling? That's like wrestling?
That's kind of what we came for. Tell you what, we'll talk about one of my favorites first.
But I thought
Chelsea-
we were still unleashed.
Chelsea Green is in the news for health reasons. From Fightful, we have Chelsea Green undergoes heart procedure for SVT. She is on the mend. She revealed this story on Instagram. She said, after 10 years, doctors finally caught my SVT and I was able to get a heart procedure done 3 hours later, and I am on the mend, she wrote. Green has remained on television after suffering an ankle injury on the February 6th episode of WWE SmackDown. She has been in a wheelchair during her time on TV, though she stood up on this posted May 4th. So the Friday before May 4th, she stood up on that episode during a segment with WWE Women's United States Champion Tiffany Stratton. And I'm glad they caught this. I don't know how serious it is. I never really looked it up. So I hope she heals up quick. I really do.
Oh, she had the surgery within the last week. Yeah.
I mean, any heart surgery's got to be serious, right? Like,
yeah. So it's something with she has something wrong with one of the valves of her heart, and I don't know exactly what it is, but yeah, that's.
I listen. Everybody uses GTS for the go to sleep, which it does mean that.
What?
But GTS has another meaning, and that meaning is Google that shit.
Oh.
See, this is why I couldn't be involved in an interview with Gentleman Jervis. Anyway, I Googled that shit, and SVT is a supraventricular tachycardia. It is a common arrhythmia characterized by a rapid pounding heartbeat, often 100 to 300 beats per minute, starting in the heart's upper chambers. It is caused by faulty electrical signaling, resulting in sudden bursts of fast heart rates. While often not dangerous, symptoms can include dizziness, palpitations, chest pain, and shortness of breath. JAYBONE, you need to go get checked out.
I was gonna say I need to get checked out. There's some cannabis out there that makes me do all that on a daily basis.
That's a bad strain, Baron. No, I only get that when I I get a little hysterical and I laugh too hard and then I almost pass out.
Don't let him lie to you, folks. He gets that when he stands up out of that chair after doing a podcast.
I mean, are we expecting a return? With the heart surgery, I can only imagine like a valve, anything being put in. Like, I can't imagine a doctor's going to approve you to go back to the ring anytime soon, right?
Look at what happened to Triple H. I mean,
exactly.
He had. Now, granted, he had some other severities, but still, it's anything with the heart, man. I can't.
Personally, I would stay away from it.
I would hope she could come back as for some kind of on-screen role at least, but as far as in ring,
well, apparently the surgery she did was a minimally invasive heart procedure and was given the green light to resume normal activities, putting her on track for a very imminent comeback. And from what I'm seeing, she's expected back within the next 3 to 6 weeks.
What the fuck?
That's amazing.
That's crazy. That's insane, actually.
As opposed to Bianca Belair, who's out for motherhood.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Bianca was already 5 months along at Mania, which means May, June, July, August. Probably August for the baby's born, and then however long maternity leave she takes.
Yeah.
Good for her. That's why she left to begin with, was to try for that, right? She knew where she was at financially and her age, so good for her. Hopefully Chelsea Green comes back, because I fucking love her character. I think she's great. With what her and Piper were doing in WWE for a while was phenomenal work, especially with the U.S. title. So I can't wait to see her come back. I don't like that she's coming back that soon. any type of heart surgery to me seems to be serious. I don't know. It's your heart.
Well, shit. Look at what Cena did. He was, 2 weeks out from that one neck surgery, and he showed up at the Rumble? Like, what?
Yeah.
I think it was longer than that.
Was it longer than that? Maybe it was 2 months, but I don't know. It was whatever it was. It was some ridiculous.
I mean, it was really short. But yeah, it was a real quick turnaround. Let's see. The injury itself happened August 17th, 2008. Reportedly caused by a Batista bomb and a hard landing off the top rope. He finished the match, underwent neck surgery the following week, and then showed up at Royal Rumble. Actually, he made a surprise in-ring return November 23rd, so he was only gone for what? September, October, 3 months?
That's why they call him Super Cena, right?
There we go.
Pretty much. And there are a lot of people that claim, oh, that injury wasn't real, and they apparently can show you that by pointing at where the scar is in one spot 1 week and then another spot the next. And I'm like, no.
What?
Who comes up with this shit?
Weird, dude. That's just, man. There's some people that just spend too much time on the freaking internet.
This is the same people that say that Asuka is actually two sisters trading off the Asuka character.
Who the fuck is saying that?
Wow.
That's the first time I've ever heard that one.
I screenshotted that comment and posted it in our group chat.
Is it in the group chat?
It is in the group chat.
God.
That's crazy shit, man.
All right. So we have spent some time. We have
yeah, crazy shit, but I do believe that.
We have spent some time over the last couple of weeks talking about wrestlers that have been cut. And on the prediction show, we actually talked about the New Day a little bit. Also, in that round of cuts were JC Mateo, Jeff Cobb, and which one of the Tongans was it?
Tongaloa.
Tongaloa, thank you.
He certainly wasn't the tall one.
Yeah, right?
Talalonga.
But now we may have found out the reason behind the departure of the New Day. Because let's be honest, we know they just re-signed a contract last year. So they just extended their deal, and yet now all of a sudden they're gone. This story comes to us from Fightful. A number of people in WWE were asked to take pay cuts. Which, listen, let me be honest. I know how business works. I get it. Sometimes you look to restructure even a year into a multi-year deal. I get that. I get asking people, hey, we're putting you on the road less. We're having you perform less. We'd like to take your pay down just a little bit. I get that. What I don't get is you doing all of that while raising ticket prices, while selling the show to a foreign country for an upcoming show, and then paying yourselves all bonuses of 6 and 7 figures. I don't understand that part, TKO. So why don't you... Sorry, let me read the article. This article was right after New Day left, and it says on Saturday, New Day parted ways with WWE. Their departure was reportedly a mutual decision between them and the company. It was later reported that the duo was asked to restructure their contracts. Mike Johnson at PW Insider reported a pretty majorly pushed WWE talent was asked to take a 50% pay cut, and allegedly did. He added, I'm not naming that talent because I have no way yet to confirm this was the case, but the timing of that claim and what happened the very next day, Kofi and Wood's departures, was very, very interesting, to say the least. As always, until fully confirmed, take that for what it is, but the timing, especially coming out of WrestleMania season, is notable. Fightful Sean Ross Sapp confirmed the report, writing a number of people were asked to take pay cuts. We talked the other day about Kofi's post where he said, know your worth, don't compromise your worth. So again, I'm sorry, I'm going to harp on this. Yes, and paying Nick Khan $3 million each year. Again, I need TKO to explain this to me like I'm 5.
No shit.
because I don't understand it. You guys are paying yourself these bonuses. Oh, hold on. I forgot. There's another wrinkle in this story. They have stated that they have taken creative control over, which means that while Triple H is still doing work, he is no longer the final say according to what TKO is putting out. And not only that, the rumor has come out that, and it apparently was confirmed by Mark Shapiro himself, that they are now using AI to generate the stories for the WWE. Okay. Add all this together. Explain it to me like I'm 5, TKO. Welcome back, Baron.
Where'd you go? Uh-oh. Can't hear him.
Does this come as a surprise to you?
Oh,
At
now
all?
I can hear him. Okay.
At all with what's happening? It's TKO, right?
It's greed. That's what it is.
The greed is sickening. Like, I mean, like we said this I said this last night to you guys. Like the layoffs happen every single year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
for-
I
yeah.
get that.
For
Yeah.
forever. We've always seen that. But yeah, all this other stuff that we're starting to see the light of day of is like, eesh.
I don't like the fact. I think the worst part of this is how Triple H is made out to be. I don't think he's a perfect human. I'm sure there's flaws in how his booking happens, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But we got a glimpse of what he can do on his own, right? We've seen WWE for a couple of years do very well right after Vince left. And then the whole transactional thing happened with TKO. And this is what happened when any big corporation ever comes into consideration, right? They have all this hearsay. Let's bring in celebrities here. It's troubling. And the Saudi Arabia thing really bothers the fuck out of me because I don't think we have any fucking business being there. And it makes no sense
Especially now.
Yeah, I'm not even thinking of just what current state is over there. I'm just thinking in general that it's
We're
just
going to be there
goofy.
next month.
There's not any. The wrestling bases here, Europe. I mean, I guess it's all over the world, but the diehard fans, right, is a certain region. I just don't like because we could tell just watching any Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or PLE for that, you could tell someone else is kind of controlling things. I don't want to say that like they're controlling the booking per se, but they're controlling the main storylines, right? You could tell that.
Yeah.
To go back to WrestleMania real quick, Roman and CM Punk was one of the best Mania matches I've seen in quite some time. So whoever did that booking and decided that, props to them. The cuts obviously make sense. The pay cuts don't make sense though. I don't understand it.
Look, you add all this up. You got your pay cuts. You got the release superstars, which is normal. But if you were going to cut people's pay, why do we even need to release anybody right now? I mean, didn't you already get your pound of flesh? You're raising ticket prices. You are, as Styles reminded us in the chat, they stopped giving tickets to the veterans. They have taken money from across overseas to put on a show that gives some creative control to those people. They've taken creative control away from the guy that has the best interest of the business at heart. Mistakes or not, he does have the best interest of the business at heart. I mean, and they're outsourcing to AI and giving themselves bonuses for that kind of bullshit. No. Here's what you need to do. You guys need to pull the stick out of your ass and walk up to Triple H and say, hey, we'd like to cut you a deal to where you take over WWE and we're going to just walk away. Because that's how you're going to fix this. As long as TKO and Endeavor stay in charge, I'm sorry. It's In my personal opinion, the product is going downhill. The company is going downhill. You need to cut the dead weight from TKO and Endeavor and put it in the hands of Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Shit, bring the whole clique in for all I care.
I would love for someone, it's too long to go read what Kevin Nash said, but his post was on point with everything about TKO. Now, on the flip side, because we like to do the flip side, and when the yearly numbers came out, did you know WWE grossed more money year over year than the UFC?
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah.
Well, I personally, when I seen that, I did not. I thought UFC for sure had to, because wrestling's wrestling, right? UFC kind of should technically have a larger audience in general. But we're talking about like $50 to $60 million more, which is a good fucking chunk of money. So maybe TKO should go ahead and like refocus back on the UFC and let Trips, fully control WWE, because that would make a lot more sense.
Why are they not booking UFC?
Well, they are. They are. That's why we're soon to have a UFC fight somewhere that doesn't make sense. But
wait. We're getting Ronda versus what's her face?
Toronto.
But it's not who's facing; it's where they're facing.
Why? Where is it?
They're facing at the White House.
Are you serious? I didn't hear that. Wow.
Yeah, it's at the White House. So like whatever, it just that doesn't make sense to me. Literally, I think it is. It's WWE still has potential. It still reaches a massive audience styles. They're not even close to WCW 2000. I mean, that was a fucking tropical train wreck, and they probably weren't even making $2 million a year during that period of time. I just think, especially on our show, we do a lot of bitching about AEW's booking. I think it's very fair for us to talk shit about WWE's booking on here, because it is shit. It has been shit for a little bit. There's some great moments on the main show, but there's a lot of shit that makes no sense. Kairi Sane is like the prime example of that. What the fuck are you doing cutting her during prime of that story? What?
Right. That, and like I said last night when we were in the chat, I'm like, look, they freaking cut the entire tag division of SmackDown. What the fuck?
Yeah, that doesn't make
City Machine Guns. Most of the MFTs. The entire Wyatt Six. That's how many tag teams right there. It's like, and now what we were joking last night because Humberto and what's the other guy?
Sorry, Berto and Angel.
Thank you. Angel and Berto, they showed up on Raw and they got their asses handed to them by Oma, which I enjoyed. I thought that was funny just because I enjoy, I don't care who it is. I enjoy watching Oba throw around anybody just because he's a beast and it should be treated as one.
Oh, so,
100%. I love him. He's like the new freaking, like, what the hell is this guy all about? You know, it's like, I love it. We haven't seen a guy like him in ages. So
real quick before we move on,
except for Lars Sullivan, I miss him.
JAYBONE, what the fuck? You piece of shit. Lars Sullivan. Where did that name come from? I haven't heard that one in decades.
The character was great. The behind the scenes was like,
real quick before we move on.
God damn.
Because of Sean's comment, I actually went and did a little Googling. And he's right. Rousey versus Carano is actually Saturday, May 16th at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, California, and it will be on Netflix. It's promoted by Jake Paul's Most Valuable Promotions, It doesn't look like it's actually a UFC. It's just an MMA event. The show that Baron's referring to is UFC Freedom 250. It will take place Sunday, June 14th at the White House.
I know they were trying to get Ronda for that.
Yeah,
Maybe she declined.
Yeah, my guess is that she wasn't. I think she wanted to do California because Jake Paul's show apparently was able to pay more money, is my guess. But
that's a lot of those Paul guys and their YouTube. They got some fucking money, man. Is she still doing AEW stuff?
She's made one appearance and called it a fuck you to the WWE, but as far as I know, she hasn't
done anything else since then. Okay,
no appearances, no contracts, no nothing.
Yeah,
well, that's fucking stupid of her.
I pretty stupid of Tony Khan to just be like, yeah, Walt's on the show, and then we're never gonna. No, that's stupid.
That's dumb. But that's AEW, so that makes sense. Weird what that was about. I never understood that.
Yeah. All right, guys. If you were watching Backlash, then Raw, you may have noticed that it looks an awful lot like Asuka is leaving. This comes on the heels of Kyrie being released and Asuka's loss to Io at Backlash. All Cole said last night on Raw was that her future is up in the air. And that was right after he said, hey, we'll have an update later in the show. And then later in the show, nothing happened.
Except for Opa.
Oh, yeah. Before Backlash, Asuka made a post on Instagram. It was simply the lyrics of Frank Sinatra's My Way. After Backlash, Io made a post thanking Asuka. Now, this next story comes from Ringside News. Asuka passes the torch to Io Sky during 5/11 Raw. The May 11th episode of WWE Raw was an important show as it featured the aftermath of Backlash. Many people have been talking about Asuka's semi-retirement. This week on Raw, they approached that subject head on. Asuka showed up in a backstage segment this week on Raw. She had a moment with Io Sky where they spoke primarily in Japanese. Then Asuka made it clear that she was passing the torch. The Empress of Tomorrow said that she was so happy to have Io Sky beat her at Backlash. She said she was waiting for someone to take her place. After saying how proud she is of Io, they hugged. Io Sky said goodbye, and then Asuka said that she would see her later. After that, Io Sky watched as Asuka walked off. The camera let fans watch Asuka leave through the door as she wheeled her suitcase behind her. Later on, Michael Cole addressed Asuka's current status. He said that her current status is up in the air. Only time will tell if she returns and when. We'll have to see what is next for Asuka. At this point, it seems that she will enjoy her semi-retirement as she is bidding WWE farewell for now. Look, Kairi Sane was involved in a major storyline. Gone. Asuka now appears to be gone following the culmination of said storyline. And that kind of leaves us with questions about certain other people in the WWE. At least it does me. With the underutilization of Shinsuke Nakamura, is he going to be the next to go on the chopping block? Because I feel like Shinsuke's time in WWE is about to come to an end because of what we've been seeing. The Wyatt Six was just involved in stories. Boom, they're gone. Kairi Sane, we just talked about. Aleister Black and Zelina were just on TV. Gone. Shinsuke is hardly ever seen on TV lately. How is he still there with all these guys appearing on TV and now they're gone?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. I think Shinsuke also has a little bit of, if they're doing international tours, to say like Japan or something, maybe he has a little bit more pull over there. I suspect him to be released, but I also think he was injured, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't make sense. The releases made sense. I hate to be, other than saying that didn't make any sense to me. On Asuka front, though, if she's still signed with WWE, which she just signed a contract last year, or maybe the year before, right?
Maybe they froze it.
They could have froze it, yeah. I just think she's able to do what she wants with the cross promotion of things they're doing with TNA, this is a great opportunity for her over there to do shows in New Japan. NXT even to do like brief appearances. Because
she's not going to do New Japan because New Japan's in bed with AEW.
That's fair. Yeah, that is true.
There's other Japanese promotions
Yeah.
she could go. So there was like New Japan has their own women's league, which I can't remember what it's called, but there was the guy that defected that owned that, and he made his own called like Marigold or something like that. She can go work for Marigold. Like that'd be okay. I think that's how that went. Don't quote me, but I think that's how it went.
And Miri, maybe he was on SmackDown last Friday, but we haven't seen a whole lot of him over the last year. I mean, he's made some appearances, but it's been spread thin.
Nakamura needs to form a tag team with Tama Tonga. That'd be dope because they got a lot of history and not a lot of people know about it. But if they form a tag team, they could talk more about it. Or in general, they're not going to mention New Japan, but
yeah,
you can. I mean, they did with AJ Styles and Balor and things along those lines. They could.
Well, that's true.
They did in the past.
It just depends on how they put it. They got ways of doing it without saying, "Oh, go watch them." It's an awesome show.
That is true. I don't know. I feel like. How old is Asuka? Not that it truly matters, but it matters in wrestling.
40s.
44, if I remember correctly.
40 something, yeah.
Yeah, 44. September 26, 1981.
Okay. So she's definitely up there in her ages, right? For women wrestlers, I don't know. She can go anywhere and do whatever she wants. This is a great time for her to take a break from wrestling because I know she's been doing it nonstop her entire life.
She could see her twin sister.
She could see her twin sister that we just found out about today. But I feel like this is an opportunity for... I always say this because I don't think they utilize this enough. WWE's roster is so large. They have NXT. They have, I know they don't own it, but they have some type of deal with TNA. There's always a possibility for some people to go over and do cross promotions. It doesn't have to be every week or anything. Once a month, do a match, promote it a little bit. Asuka would be a great women wrestler on that show, right? Like, I don't think anybody would deny that.
That would be incredible. Absolutely.
How I would utilize someone like that still wants to keep going, have a smaller schedule, right?
Yeah.
Not the constant travel, do some appearances, help put people over there like you just did with Sky. Like, there's so many opportunities. Maybe I should be booking everything, but like that would be what I would do with her. And TKO, hit your boy up. I could do some booking for you.
And I just kind of Googled to see if there's any new information since I pulled up the story last night. Yeah, it looks like this is for a personal matter back home. No information on what that personal matter is, what it entails, or anything like that.
Yeah,
but it looks like she needs a significant amount of time to go home and deal with whatever it is.
My guess it's just family, like maybe like a parent's health, something like that in general.
Probably.
That's got some kind of indefinite clock on it, That's what makes sense to me. But
yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. Then get the hell away from wrestling and take care of that for sure.
Yeah.
So
which is good on WWE to do that. I mean,
yes. I just hope it doesn't. There wasn't a pay cut thing involved with her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that wasn't a thing. Yeah. Because that would be terrible.
Needless to say, I'm not the happiest person about this departure. I do understand if it is something personal. I get that. You got to take care of that, but this still sucks.
Oh yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, she absolutely. In my opinion, I would say she is absolutely top 3 best women in the company. Excuse me.
All right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Before we move on, I would like to remind everybody that 2 weeks ago, when I was unable to make it to the show, the Baron and Dizzy discussed Alberto Del Rio. I bring that up because we have another wrestler in the news about that concerns his desire to beat up women outside the ring. That dumb son of a bitch. This story comes from Fightful. Quattrero ruled guilty of domestic violence and femicide against Stephanie LaCour. Quattrero has been found guilty. Antonio Nieto reports Quattrero, whose real name is Rogelio Reyes, has been ruled guilty of domestic violence and femicide against Stephanie LaCour. He will be sentenced on Tuesday, May 12th. And yes, I know that means he was sentenced today. And don't worry, after I read this, I will have that sentence for you. The incident occurred in March of 2023. LaCour filed a domestic violence criminal complaint against him when they both worked at CMLL. LaCour accused him of forcing himself on her, choking her, and throwing her against the wall. He was arrested on March 10th and charged with attempted femicide and domestic violence. He was released in March of 2025. He has continued to wrestle in Mexico since being released. LaCour is signed to WWE. And yes, today was his sentencing, and this is coming to us from Fightful Wrestling's Twitter page. Quattrero was sentenced to 12 years and 8 months in prison for attempted femicide, domestic violence against Stephanie LaCour. He will be credited with the 2 years that we talked about in the article. That means he has 10 years and 8 months remaining. Finally, we have a wrestler that's actually doing time for the crime that he committed. Now, if only the courts in Mexico would do the same with Alberto Del Rio.
Now you're gonna have to forgive me for a moment. Like you mentioned femicide, and I'm like, is that related to homicide? I'm like, there's just one of those things I've never heard of before. So I Googled it, and it said the killing of a woman or girl in particular by a man and on account of her gender.
Right. The attempt was made because she's a woman, not just because he was upset or whatever.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
And that's South America. That's certain areas in South America that have that law. Not other countries. I don't even think we have something like that in United States.
That's what I was going to say.
I don't think that's a thing in the United States. That is like, where's she from? Is she from Chile? Because I feel like that is
She is from Chile.
That's exactly their law, which is fantastic because women are murdered, raped, all that terrible shit down in there, and this was a law that was put in place down there. I read something about it ages ago because I never heard that word before in my life.
Okay.
But women were targeted at a high rate years and years ago that they put that into place. So that's fantastic. Wow. 10 years is nothing, though. I hate that, but at least there's some justice in that matter because we all know that's not okay. And I wonder if her time away from WWE was in result of this. I know they were playing that she's injured angle, but was she actually injured angle and was taking some time away for WWE from this with the court cases and whatnot that were going on?
Oh gosh, I don't even know.
Well, and here's
that is interesting.
It happened while she was with CMLL, so it sounds like the actual crime took place in Mexico. So it was Mexico that charged him with the femicide in this case, not Chile.
Okay.
Okay.
Sean, all we have left is to go over backlash points in a second, but all right, have a good night.
Take care, Sean.
But so yeah, listen, all I want to say is Mexico. See what you did here with Cuatrero? Let's consider doing something similar with Alberto Del Rio this time. Just a thought.
Oh, there we go.
All right. Now, that brings us to discussing our points for Backlash, and Grandpa forgot to make picks this time, so he scored a big fat 0. But Baron and I did make picks. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel bad, Sean. So I will run this down real quick, and then I will tell you our total points.
You made him feel a certain kind of way.
I didn't mean to.
I'm keeping that comment up there the rest of the show.
All right, so
make you feel really good about yourself tonight.
So we had Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. Baron picked Braun. I picked Seth. Braun won. Trick defended his title against Sammy. Baron had Trick. I had Sammy. Trick won. Io Sky versus Asuka, as we already discussed. Io won. We both had Io. Danhausen and a TBA partner versus The Miz and Kit Wilson. We actually both picked Punk, even though the rumors said Jelly Roll. And damn, were we all wrong. It was a Minihausen. And then it was 5 more Minihausens. But
it wasn't Jelly Roll. It was a bunch of donut holes.
But the original Minihausen in the match wasn't just a Minihausen. He was El Torito, if you remember that name.
That was the first one. And then all the others were
just the random ones from his from a while back. Danhausen and Minihausen won that match. And then it was time for the main event. Roman defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Jacob Fatu. Baron went with the OTC. I went with Fatu. Final score, I only got 2 points all night, and Baron got 5. Congratulations, Baron.
Thank you. I'm glad you were able to muster that up to go ahead and let the fans know who went flawless. And keep that in mind, because we like to keep track of our records here. And I wish I had an Excel spreadsheet that kept track of all of our records, so we could always point that out. I think that's fun.
Wait, that's not the reason you brought me back, is it? Because I'm horrible at math.
No. I'm an Excel sheet master, and I do Excel sheets all day. So if I had all the stuff, I could put it into an Excel sheet easily.
Listen, JAYBONE, we know the only math you're any good at is Steiner math, so we're never going to ask you to do math on the show. I saw El Torito fight Hornswoggle in a WLC match in Chicago. Man, it was a good match. I enjoyed it, just for the record. All right, guys.
That's too funny. Wisconsin's own.
I was listening to you. I was listening to you, Sean.
Max like sometimes takes this like TKO or Tony Khan's watching, so he's trying to do like these out of the box pick, fucking out of the ordinary picks, so so he can get a fucking job. That's what he's doing. He's not going through the basic. Who the hell would pick someone over Roman Reigns?
For the record, it was you that suggested the logic behind picking Fatu over Roman Reigns.
But I didn't pick Fatu. I
understand that. But you suggested the logic. All right. That being said, I think that's going to do it for us this week. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, JAYBONE, for staying up past your bedtime to hang with us. Thank you, Sean, for staying longer as well. I think we'll start with you, JAYBONE. How can they find you?
You can find me on the old Twitter box at JAYBONE5150. That's JAYBONE 5150.
All right, Baron, how can they find you, sir?
You're never going to find me because nobody ever adds me. But if you wanted to, find me on Twitter, X, at Scumbag Jordan with 3.
He's an easy ad.
Just add me, baby.
I'm an easy ad. Hell, I don't post shit.
I don't post anything.
Let me take that back. I promote podcasts, and that's it. No opinions about shit. That's
right.
it.
And you can find me at Max Magius. You can find the podcast at the Ramblers Pod. Search Ramblers Unleashed on Facebook. Buy Ryzin's book. The link is down in the show description. Subscribe to the show if you like us, and consider hitting that little bell icon. That way, YouTube will notify you when we're going live. Any last thoughts, gentlemen, before I kick this out?
Yeah, what's up with the Air Japan?
Okay, so one of the things that I've been doing for the show since Baron and I started doing it by ourselves is I'll make up some kind of fake sponsor for the Open.
Oh, you mean that's not really real?
No, Air Japan's real. They're not sponsoring us. In fact, I don't think Air Japan knows we exist. Proud of
you. I'm like, wow, you got some kind of like international clout now?
No, I will try to find something from the week's stories to make fun of by a sponsor that either it's a made up company of some sort, or like in this case, I'm just pretending Air Japan's sponsoring us. It's nothing real. It's just something to add to the entertainment value.
I wish you would have ran with it and told Max. You would have told JAYBONE it was real. We are sponsored by Air Japan.
I'd have been like, next we're gonna get Asuka on the show and be like, you are not ready for Air Japan.
Listen, hold on. The odds of us being sponsored by Air Japan are just way too astronomical. We have a better chance of being sponsored by Spirit Airlines, and they're no longer in business.
Well, that's how we might get sponsored. So let's shoot for that, baby.
No, what's better is be like, this week's sponsor is Spirit Airlines. Oh, wait. Oh, never mind.
and just so everybody knows, verbal contracts were agreed to last night, and everybody on the show has taken a 50% pay cut, except Dizzy, because he missed tonight's show, so his is actually 75%.
That's because I came back for the big money.
Big money, big money, big money. It's been real.
All right, guys.
JAYBONE, we love to have you back. We'll see you folks next Tuesday.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Sounds good.
Thanks for tuning in to Ramblers Unleashed. Follow the show on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click the bell icon for notifications of upcoming episodes.